I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Let the record show everybody's present. Scott Belt is on the phone. Okay. Everybody looked over the consent agenda?
I'll make the motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carried. First up, Judge Kathleen Kilnowski. Discussion and decision to approve application for use of Pottawatomie County grounds for use of courthouse or county courthouse for National Adoption Day celebration on Saturday, November 18th, 2023. Judge.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me come and ask again for permission to use the courthouse. You might remember, I checked my notes this morning, we've been celebrating National Adoption Day in the 4th Judicial District and specifically in our Pottawatomie County Courthouse at least since 2009. There might be a few years earlier than that, but at least since 2009. And National Adoption Day started as a grassroots effort actually in California when juvenile courts realized there was a terrible backlog in getting kids from foster care into their permanent adoptive homes. And so one of the ways that they tried to rally and make permanent homes for these foster kids was to go to court on a Saturday. And that tradition has carried through. As I said, we've been doing it here in 4th Judicial District in Pottawatomie County since 2009. I think at one point I tallied, we've had at least 150 kids who have been adopted into their forever families from foster care during our years of celebrating National Adoption Day. It's a group effort. We coordinate with Iowa Department of Health and Human Services folks and their adoption specialists. We get a lot of help from you by letting us use the courthouse on a Saturday, and we do serve some treats and drinks to the kids. We have face painting, we have crafts and cute little activities for kids to do. We have a photographer here who takes a professional family photo of these new families, and it's just a great way to advertise the need for foster families and adopted families, and to celebrate these kids and their parents who have worked so hard to become forever families. So if you have questions, I'm happy to answer. You are more than welcome to join us on that Saturday. It's a happy, bubbly day. It's the best day of the year in the Pottawatomie County Courthouse, even, I think, exceeding Election Day, because there are no losers. Everybody is a winner on Adoption Day. So
What time does that start?
we will open the courthouse about 7:30 for my team members to come in and get things set up. The hearings start at 9 and we're done by noon. So come, if everybody's welcome. We'd love to have you, and just come have a good day at the courthouse.
Questions? What'd you say? So moved?
I did.
Got a motion?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Thank you for your efforts, Judge.
Thank you.
And,
Really appreciate
we'll
that.
probably be back again next year, so take
Keep
care.
up the good work. Okay, next up, Al Wegman, trustee, clerk, Lewis Township, discussion under decision to hold more than 3 meetings for Lewis Township Fire Department or just?
Yes,
Okay,
it's for the fire department.
Okay.
We, I want to thank you guys for increasing the wages last year for the clerk meetings and the township meetings. But anyway, we do quite a bit of business for the fire department all through the year. In fact, right now, I've got a truck in the shop and the bill's gonna be over $3,000. So you need to get approval from the board to write the check. Anyway, we meet every month and, we usually have some business to do. Like this coming month, we meet the fourth Tuesday of every month. We've got to approve this truck bill. It's our oldest truck and it's getting some front end work and one of the pumps, something was wore out with it. But anyway, the board of trustees would appreciate increasing the amount of meetings to 12. And that's about all I have.
Al, how many calls do you go on a year? Do you have that number?
We are over about 300 right now. We're close to 350.
Melvin, do we have jurisdiction on how many meetings they have?
I don't
The
think so.
township trustees, because they're submitting it as payments for the township trustees, which we just had resolution 76-202. And for the Iowa Code 359.17, they get 2 mandatory meetings, and then we were giving them 1 additional meeting. That was that resolution I asked you guys about when we upped their pay to $40 a meeting. And Lewis Township is wanting to have, instead of just those 3 meetings a year, a meeting each month. So that total expense would be $3,360 if all the trustees attend all of the meetings.
So I don't know that the code doesn't specifically, it states the mandatory meetings.
Correct.
But the code doesn't say
It does not.
there's no restriction, but when we
No,
did
but
the
my resolution did have a limit,
yeah,
so that way if we were going up and above what I had budgeted, they're asking for your permission.
right.
And then one other thing I do need to ask Lewis Township is that you need to send me a agenda at least 24 hours in advance with the date, time, and where the meeting will be held, because Iowa code does state that I have to post it here with at least 24 hours advance notice.
Oh,
That's why I didn't realize you were having so many meetings till you asked for
Okay.
payment on
all righty.
it, okay?
Is it in your budget?
No, the board pays for it, for their
The
meetings.
board pays for towns, that's why they have to come and ask for permission to have more than 3 meetings a year, because it comes out of your budget to pay the trustees. And the alternative is, you would do it if you didn't have trustees, so we pay them $40 a meeting to take care of those issues.
You do have a limit of $600 a year too, so I won't be included in it as an employee, just a contract. I think contractors can make up to $600 without
No.
paying taxes.
No, because you guys are elected, you are employees, so at the end of the year, anything hitting $600 or over, payroll will be issuing you a W-2 at the end of the year.
Oh, okay.
So at this point, how much more would we be paying out
We would be paying, well, originally,
additional?
we would be paying an additional $1,160 a year for just this township.
And I think, well, if you look at the townships, I think Lewis is a little unique in
We're very unique.
as large as they are and as busy as the fire department is. But, you know, if you look at Waveland or Grove, they don't meet that often. And if they do, you know, if a couple of trustees go out and check the cemetery or something, why, they probably don't even
Right, we don't
But
pay
they
for
probably
those
don't
kind of
even-
meetings.
they
The
don't
only
even,
ones we pay
charge.
for are for the, open to the public meetings that they have to hold and, post.
To do their budget.
Yeah, anything, well, Iowa code, it says, if they discuss, deliberate, act upon any matter relating to a budget or a tax levy of the township or relating to the trustees' duties to provide fire protection services, and if provided medical, and also to discuss the emergency medical services pursuant to section 3.359.42. So like if there's a fence dispute or they're going to a cemetery, anything like that, we do not pay. They would ask the individuals that they're going to do that work for to pay them if they want
Okay.
paid for those.
Okay.
Basically just any financial meetings.
You have 3 meetings now, correct?
We have 12.
You do have 12, okay.
Yeah, been having 12 meetings. Well, I've been on trustee since 2014, and I think we missed one, and that was because of COVID. And
Oh,
everybody was scared to come, including me. But now we usually have business to attend to with the department. They
So the
have
trustees
needs.
are meeting with the fire department?
Yeah, most of them are
Okay,
to do business for the department.
okay.
so
The
it
clerk
cost
can only
us,
spend,
Just
I think,
under 100.
2,500
Hmm.
without permission from the rest of the board.
right.
Like I say, we got a truck in the shop right now, so.
Questions? Comments?
Yeah, I always thought that the township took care of that and they levy for that. That's not how.
No, they do levy for the,
Okay.
for the fire and rescue in cemeteries.
They do not levy for the payment of the, their meetings, for the payment of the elected officials. Iowa code states that, the board has to pay for that.
The board pays for their meetings, but what they deliberate on is what they levy for is for fire and rescue and cemeteries, mainly.
What,
In Township Hall, they have one.
and that's in the general fund?
Yeah, you pay it out of your budget, out of the general
Rural.
fund. Well, yeah, rural.
So I'm paying for Lewis Township?
You're paying those guys so you won't have to do it, basically.
Comes out of-
Is that really? I'm in favor of it. I think you guys do a heck of a job. I came out to your open house the other day. I saw a good team out there and, talked to quite a few of the fire people,
I think we've got around 20 volunteers right now.
and they were pretty enthusiastic. And they feel, you always gotta watch your money and stuff, but I know there's a lot of stuff happening there.
Yeah,
It is a unique township fire department, so.
we're the only the only volunteer group that have 2 paid individuals. We pay them day hours, weekdays, and they're there at the station all day long.
Are they both EMTs?
One of them's a paramedic and the other one's an EMT, yes.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, one of them's technically a driver, but he is an AMT, or EMT also.
okay. Good.
First, we had just a paramedic, then he was depending on volunteers to meet him at the scene and drive everybody to the hospital. That wasn't working out so good, so. So we hired Andy now, but,
I think I talked to him the other day.
did you? He's a heck of a guy too.
Questions, comments?
Well, real quick, it says here 3 meetings for Lewistown. You have 12 meetings, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay, you get paid for all 12 of those meetings then? Out of
well,
Our budget, the board's budget?
yeah,
Is that what I understand?
we turn in our annual receipts
Okay,
in July, and yeah, you've been paying us for 12 meetings.
so you want to continue with the 12 meetings or you want more meetings on top of that? I'm not
We're
quite
just,
understanding.
we go to 12 meetings.
12 meetings, okay.
And once in a while, we have an extra meeting for, to approve our budget.
Okay.
If things don't work out just so, like this year, we had to have a special meeting to do the budget because there was
But we had been
confusion.
paying you for those other 9 meetings?
Yeah,
But the reason he's in is because the resolution that was passed last year and probably states that if they're over the 3 meetings, they have to get permission from you.
Correct.
So he's just basically backtracking and doing what he was supposed to do before.
it was $20 a meeting last year. And then this year,
40.
thankfully, it went to 40, yeah.
Got any more comments?
Nope, that's, unless, next year for the resolution, because I will now, since I started this, have the resolution reapproved each year for the dollar amount and the meetings. He would have to come in each year unless you guys want me to reword in my resolution that they have to get approved anything over their 3 meetings.
Okay. Scott, you got any comments or questions?
No, I think probably having them come in once a year is probably good.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay.
So that's effective July 1.
The resolution was, yes, well, January 1st, 2023 is when the resolution, January of each year, since I've taken over, is when I'm going to be having it approved.
In January, you said?
Yes.
So if maybe that could be one of our,
It's one of the first meetings of the year that I
Right.
organized that with Jeanette when
Right,
I
right.
did the resolution, so
Yeah.
that we'll readdress it each year.
right, and whether Al needs to come in at that first meeting and make the request, or is a written request enough?
That's going to be up to the board,
Right.
how they want to receive
And
our
I'm sure Al knows how to get
requests
down
for
to the
more
courthouse
meetings.
easily.
That'd probably be good, so we could put it right in our budget.
Okay,
So the motion you're looking for then is a meeting up to 12 per year or just more than
Just
3?
for Lewis Township to be paid for their 12 meetings per year, yes.
All right. Well, I'll make that motion, all right? Just be straightforward with you.
The motion for 12 or more than 3?
Well, that's what I was asking.
Well, I mean, Al, what is your recommendation? Are you saying that you want to have your 12 per year or just,
More than 3.
it's more than 3, but yeah, we normally have 12.
One of the things, a lot of the rural fire departments run through the city, and they do have 12 meetings, correct?
The city council most likely
Yes.
does, yeah. See, they approve their
Right.
fireman bills. Or we're responsible.
You're out on your own, you don't have a,
Yeah, I think we're
City
the
to
only one in Iowa that's
approve.
like this. I think, I'm not,
I think there's Sailor Township has fire department of their own, but I might be wrong.
it is a unique situation, I agree.
very, very unique.
So I can amend my motion to say up to 12. Is that a reasonable?
You said before you might have to have a special meeting.
Well, this year was kind of unique because there was confusion about tax rates. So we had our budget ready and then we found out that we couldn't do it just yet until we get some final figures. So I think we did have our meeting like the last end of March and it had to be due April 1st. But we can get by with 12 meetings. If there's more, then we'll contribute.
Okay.
You making a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Oh.
Up to 12 meetings.
Up to 12 meetings.
Second?
And then I do have a question for you. I'll take a vote first.
Go ahead.
Take a vote.
Okay. Motion by Jorgensen, seconded by Miller to approve up to 12 meetings a year. All in favor signify by saying aye, or wait a minute. This is a resolution, is it not?
No.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Alright,
That's why you're not supposed to say opposed, same sign, because of the time lag on the phone.
Brian, if you run the meeting how you'd like to.
Thank you, Melvin.
And I do have a
Okay.
question for you, real
That's
quick.
approved. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Lewis Township, your fire hall is right up on the hill on 92, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You have a stop sign right up.
We
up front.
have to stop, but traffic on the highway doesn't stop.
Okay, so you have no way to control that traffic if you're.
Jeff, that's next up on the agenda,
Oh,
so
okay,
could I?
all right, never mind.
Okay. That motion's carried.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, Al Wigman, Lewis Township Fire Department. Discussion concerning light on Highway 92. I look at you, John.
How is the grant process coming as far as our light goes?
So we submitted in August. They'll let us know if it was awarded mid-January, and then I'll let you know once we hear back.
Okay.
It'll be flashing beacons on a sign that the fire department will be able to activate. And on the same grant, she applied for all the other fire departments that are interested. So you have a traffic study, so I think yours will get weighted. I don't know if they all get funded, but I'm pretty optimistic yours will get funded.
Well, we did get a study last year, I believe.
Yeah, we're 2 studies deep on that one actually, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I submitted all of that with the grant as well.
Yeah. Oh, you need another study?
No,
No.
I submitted your study with the grant.
Okay.
What did you say? The DOT acts on it in
Mid-January,
January. Then we won't be able to spend the money until
July 1st,
July.
2024.
The reason I asked, we've been getting these grants or asking for grants for several years. And I think these grant people want more prestigious money or prestigious areas to put their money than at a traffic stop. But could I ask the board to put it in the budget next year officially to get our light?
Well, we have a problem because that's a state highway in the city in a county jurisdiction. Is that how it goes, John?
It's about that confusing, yes.
Yes. So the state doesn't,
And the traffic study doesn't warrant a stoplight, so the activated lights we applied for is probably the best the DOT is gonna let us have. Most of our traffic study that justifies a stoplight, and it doesn't. We're kinda stuck on that, but the grant we applied for, as far as prestige or whatever, it's for traffic safety, and that's the one she's in, and she's
Yeah.
2-0 on those, and I'm 0-2 on your grant, so I think the study was a big issue before, then we asked for too much before, and that's why we got denied. When we asked for stoplights, the study didn't warrant it, they just threw it out, so. We had to back it up a little bit to the activated beacons.
Well, our situation is some of our calls, we turn west, which is a right turn. But a lot of them, we have to turn left to go east into the township. And those can take quite a while because traffic don't respect a fire truck sitting at the corner up there or an ambulance.
I was at the Casey store a couple times and watched you guys come out. It was harrowing.
Yes, I witnessed one time where I was out in the yard doing some work and our truck pulled out and another vehicle passed them on the left just because they can. But it can be tricky and it's dangerous all the time.
Well, I
And they're
appreciate-
going at a pretty good rate of speed
Yeah,
too,
oh, yeah.
so if they do hit us, somebody's gonna get hurt.
It's a raceway right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm surprised people coming out of Casey's aren't damaged more there.
Well, there's accidents. I don't know why they don't get reported to the state, but yeah, there are several accidents a year up there.
Yeah.
I know all the residents in that area, they want an official stoplight there. we're not in favor of getting that, but, we just wanna stop traffic so we can do our work.
Mm-hmm.
Al, I think about that every single time I drive through that intersection, which is frequently.
Yeah,
And when my husband's pager goes off and I know that we're cheering with Lewis Township or CPR or whatever it is, that you're turning left on crossing traffic to get to us. And it's top of mind for me. And if this grant doesn't go through, we'll look at options after that. But
okay,
that traffic needs to be controlled.
okay.
I agree. Keep up the good work. You got a good team out there.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
They are a bunch of generous individuals, because I get notified when they go out now in the middle of the night, and I can see where they get called at 11:35, and there's somebody on the way to the station within 5 minutes. So they're dedicated out there.
They sure seem like it, so.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, okay,
thank you.
thank you.
I'll let you know as
We'll
soon as
keep
we
you
hear something.
informed.
All righty.
Hey, John, can that be a flashing red light?
Not be flashing yellow.
Why can't it be red?
We're warning the trucks are coming in, we're not stopping traffic. We're just giving advance warning the trucks are entering the intersection.
So why can't it be red?
I don't have a traffic for it.
Pardon me?
We're not allowed to stop lights, so we're not allowed to stop the traffic for the warrant that justify that.
They do
That's
down
kinda
at the
next
bottom
step.
of the hill, there
That's
where
kind of the next step up.
east lane is stopped, they stop traffic there all the time.
I thought it was gonna be similar to the one that's on Broadway by the fire station there, that it's yellow flashing and then it changes to red flashing when the trucks are coming out.
No, it's the advance warning sign you have now with the activated beacon on it. So the signs are out there now, will remain, and there'll just be a beacon on it that they turn on. So it'll flash to draw people's attention to the signs. That was the recommendation in the traffic study. The next step up was the stoplights, and the warrants weren't there for that.
So it's not against the law to have flashing red, or is it?
Well, that'd be a stoplight, so no, we weren't. That'd be a stoplight then if you're stopping traffic.
Well, that would be good.
That's not what the grant was for, I guess. And the traffic study didn't warrant that, so.
And the traffic study was done before or after Eastern Hills Drive?
After it was done, Mike.
After,
We had an earlier one and we had a later one, so.
Yeah, we've done two of them.
We've had one before and one after. And we kind of talked to the city council about, like, we could get a light there where they manage it for us, because they're managing that next light out. We're not managing that. It's out in the county, so. No, I didn't really have, I applied for a stoplight before and failed, so that would be asking for the same grant that we already declined on.
John, that neighborhood north of that intersection, is that county? That's not city, correct?
There's just one county road there and the rest are private, and it's not
Okay.
city either.
I knew it was an odd situation.
Yeah, they're private roads, so they're not really county either. Well, they're in the county, I guess. We don't maintain those roads.
Mhm. Okay, well, we'll keep you informed.
Next year.
Thank you, Al. Keep swinging.
I've been swinging now since 2014. So.
Yeah, keep going. Okay, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Tina Tarentos, Operations Administrator, Secondary Roads, discussion under decision to approve and authorize board to sign resolution number 65-2023 entitled Resolution Approving Agreement between Potawatomi County Secondary Roads and the Iowa Department of Transportation for Living Roadway Trust Fund Grant. Wow.
Yeah, so part of the grant agreement is just have a resolution signed by the board. I worked on this grant with Dustin, our roadside technician. And so he is going to trade in his current Gator, and then the grant will pay for the other half. The grant, or the Gator we currently have is from the flood in 2011, so it definitely needs to be upgraded.
Okay. Questions, comments? Motion?
Well, the resolution doesn't talk about any equipment that's being replaced. Is that,
Do you want me to read this whole?
That's just how we're doing our match, is trading it in rather than having to pay for the difference. They don't want that in there. We actually had to remove it from our quote too. We showed our trade-in value and the DOT said to take it out and just say that we were agreeing with the grant.
Here, let me finish reading this. Whereas Potawatomi County Secondary Roads is responsible for the Integrated Roadside Vegetation Management Program, and whereas the Iowa Department of Transportation provides funding assistance through the Living Roadway Trust Fund for some expenses related to these responsibilities. And whereas Potawatomi County has applied for and been awarded a Living Roadway Trust Fund grant, and whereas Secondary Roads Operation Administrator is duly authorized to execute the grant and authorizing official on behalf of the Potawatomi County, therefore be it resolved that the Potawatomi County Board of Supervisors approve a Living Roadway Trust Fund grant agreement between Potawatomi County Secondary Roads and the Iowa Department of Transportation in the amount of $15,000 dated this 10th day of October 2023. Does that help?
it makes more sense when you
Okay.
read it out loud.
All right.
Yes.
I apologize.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Okay.
I'll second that.
All right. Melvin, will you do a roll call, please?
Chairman Shea,
Aye.
Supervisors Wickman.
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Jorgensen,
Aye.
Bell.
Alright,
Okay.
Thank you.
Motion approved. Thank you. Okay, next up. Mark Shoemaker, Director, and/or Jeff Franco, Deputy Director, Conservation. Discussion under decision to approve purchase of snowcat for Mount Crescent Ski Area. Hi, guys.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Yeah, this is, preface this is not new funds that we're requesting. These are funds that were already approved by the Board of Supervisors. We're looking at an additional snowcat to help us run the operations up there. The acquisition price of that is $149,000.
How many do we have now, Mark?
There's two up in there right now.
Do they both run?
They're both currently running. The reason we're requesting additional is because one is in fairly poor shape and it's not reliable. And being in a situation with just one snowcat puts us at risk of not being able to run.
Are you trading that in?
We will not, given the condition, it's going to be more cost effective to keep that for price, save money, and the other existing snow.
So it'll become a parts machine?
This is part of the loan you got, correct?
Correct.
And it's a used machine and it was built pre-COVID, so it will last.
Correct.
2019 is kind of the sweet spot with used equipment. I'll make the motion to approve.
Second that motion.
Jeff, how many people are qualified to run that?
Qualified, and there's no special qualification. There's training that takes place. There's probably 5 or 6 people that have been trained to operate that machine.
Any more discussion? Motion by Miller, seconded by Jorgensen. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you.
You guys done a really good open house, heard a lot of good comments, a lot of positivity there. People are really excited. Thanks for doing those open houses. I know it's a lot of work and really appreciate it.
What did you do this?
Jeff, season tickets are being sold now.
That's correct. October first, they went on sale, season passes.
Season passes, okay.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you guys.
Okay, next up, John Rasmussen, engineer, discussion
I
and
think
or,
you missed Paula.
pardon?
Paula and Shalimar, I think they were.
Oh,
Item
I
F.
apologize. Back up.
It's okay.
Paula Hazelwood, CEO, and Shalimar Macedas, Rural Development Manager, Advanced Southwest Iowa Corporation. Discussion and or decision to approve funding for Advanced Southwest Iowa Des Moines bus tour for Potawatomi County city clerks, administrators, mayors, and city council members scheduled for October 26th. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Thank you guys so much for having us here. As Brian said, we are doing the advanced bus tour again this year. I believe Supervisor Wickman, Shea, and Miller were all on the bus tour last year. What we do is we take the mayor and the city clerk, and if the mayor or the city clerk can't come, then a city council member from here to Des Moines for the day, and we will meet with state officials and have deep discussions about current projects going on in our county, what they need help with. And then we have a great time we have great lunch, we do a couple more meetings, and then we come home, have a great time on the bus, so some camaraderie connection time. And then we go ahead and disembark, and it's just a great day for our county in the rural areas to come together and really get to know each other and get to talk to state officials. Last year, we had really, really great turnout. We also had, everybody told me their two favorite things were, first of all, that all of the Board of Supervisors were there. That was huge for them. It was really impressive. They were really excited about spending the day with you guys, getting to know you and spend time with you. So I highly, highly, highly encourage, beg, plead for you to come with us on the 26th. We leave the Avoca truck stop at 8 a.m. on the 26th. So Jorgensen and Wickman, I haven't heard back from either of you, so I would love it if you guys would attend with us. This is not a cheap thing to put on. Busing people all the way to Des Moines and getting a room to rent for the day, providing them food, being able to do what we want to do here to make this a really, really well-rounded day for them is not something that's cheap. It costs about $4,000. And so I am coming to the Board of Supervisors and asking you to pay for $2,000 of it. I have fundraised the rest of it. But fundraising is really tight this year, and I think you guys know that from businesses and et cetera. And so I just don't have the same people that are willing to sponsor this year as they were last year. They love it. They still want to go, but they just can't work it in their budgets to sponsor. So I am asking Pot County Board of Supervisors to fund $2,000 of it. I've got a breakdown of the day schedule if you'd like to hear it, and I also have a breakdown of the budget.
Are in the funds that you generated, Shalimar, were any of those funds from cities?
No, the cities do not pay to go on this.
Did you ask them to?
No, and I don't want to ask them to. This is a benefit that I think that they need to receive from us. Cities don't have money to put towards something like this. This is something I look at as a way for us to spend the day together.
And most of them, if it's city council members or mayors,
They're
it's
taking a day off
volunteer. They're taking a day off so that they can volunteer to do this.
Yeah, that's not something that's ever even crossed my mind. And honestly, I don't think they will.
I went on that last year and I thought it was extremely helpful. And it was, like you said, you get to know the other people on the boards and stuff. And we got to talk about some very good stuff on that trip.
We also had great stuff come out of it as well. Teresa Greenfield sent personal emails to several different cities with their USDA contacts for that area, saying you need to get in touch with them and help fund this project. I mean, it makes such a difference when somebody from that level is connecting to their local people for the cities to see that, hey, we're being listened to. We have a great schedule this year. We're going to listen to Kate Sand from USDA. Teresa Greenfield wasn't available. Wes Mayberry from Department of Transportation. They're also bringing in several people from our local area to be there for the questions and for the project discussions for Department of Transportation. Lunch, we're gonna have Lieutenant Governor Greg there, and he's gonna talk about some of the stuff that he's got going on in the state. Then we're gonna have the Iowa Rural Development Council is gonna talk about little towns doing big things. We cherry picked 2 different towns that are in Iowa outside of our region that are little towns, 600 and 1200, that are doing really cool things that we think our towns could replicate. And then we'll have Debbie Durham in the afternoon, and we'll wrap up at 3:30 from Des Moines and be home by 5.
I feel this is a worthy cause, and I think we get gambling money, and I think $2,000 out of the gambling money would be well worth it myself.
And do you have all the cities signed on so far?
I have everyone except for I'm waiting on a representative from Minden. But everyone else has 1, 2, or one asked for 6, and I said you can have 3. Our whole city council wanted to come, which was very cool, but I cannot afford to pay for all, so no.
Well,
And we do have state representatives and all sorts of stuff too coming.
I'll make the motion to approve $2,000 for funding for the Advanced Southwest Iowa bus.
Thank you.
And I'll second that. Put me on the list, by the way.
I'll get you on it right now. I've got it open, I'm marking you down.
Melvin, will you do a roll call?
Sure. Chairman Shea?
Aye.
Supervisors Jorgensen?
Aye.
Miller?
Aye.
Wickman? Belt?
Alright,
Okay, thank you. Motion
Perfect.
carried.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, ladies.
Looking forward to seeing you all for that tour.
You just want to submit an invoice to us?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you guys.
You're welcome. Okay, John Rasmussen now. Engineer, discussion and a decision for approval to create a new classification, job description, and wages for an assistant engineer classification within the secondary road department.
Sure. So currently we have a vacant engineer intern, which is the engineer without the experience with the education. So they have a bachelor's degree. We haven't been very successful in filling that one. We had it open, we closed it. I think we opened it and closed it, and we just haven't got an applicant. We're kind of looking at our needs for the grants, you know, maybe to backfill my time when I'm working on those, and maybe do more support for the office when I'm lost in those as well. Adding a licensed engineer as an assistant. So we haven't had one since well before my time, probably 2003 I think was the last year. Pot County had a licensed assistant. Lots of counties have them. We're a big one that doesn't. Like I said, in our study session, kind of my goal always was to have a low administrative cost because we're trying to get money out of the project. With all these grants, the game's kind of changed for us now. You know, we won $6 million worth of grants in the last year. More than covers our wages. The administration isn't all bad now if we can backfill with new revenues. So I just need to maybe refocus the office on what our goals are with staffing. And we have a vacant position there, and I'd just like to reclassify that. So the cost will be higher. It won't take a budget amendment to do this year. We have, you know, a vacant position that's been vacant for a while now. So cost-wise, it should be a push this year, and I look for next year to have a cost savings actually. So
A what?
cost savings.
Okay.
Next year, I think we'll reduce some of our consulting costs moving forward.
Not having to go out?
Yeah, I think we'll reduce those.
Contract?
It's hard to say we'll reduce them because at the same time, if we're in a grant, we're gonna have some higher costs because those grants are gonna be complicated projects, and a lot of those are still beyond the reach of our office. I think we can do higher level work, but probably not all of it. It's hard to find all those skills in 1 or 2 people. It takes a much larger team. So we're at 64 full-time employees now, and we're not looking to change that. So I gave you guys back one earlier. I'm not asking for that one back. I just still have a vacant one sitting there. Actually, I have 2 vacant ones sitting there.
budget won't increase because you said you're gonna have some cost savings, right?
Right, it won't increase I won't need an amendment this year, and I shouldn't need an increase next year, other than whatever you increase for.
Okay. I'm in favor of it.
Is this the one where the guy will help with bridge inspections
Yeah, I think,
we talked about?
yeah, I think with an assistant, I think we're gonna focus that person more on, even our own bridge crew, I think there's more support needed there than back into the inspections. We'll cross-train our technicians to do inspections. Pretty much, maybe make bridges a larger focus than they are already.
Okay,
So,
questions?
yeah, when you look at this job description, John, what specific changes did you make in that?
It's an entirely new one.
We didn't have one for the assistant engineer before?
No, we never had a licensed assistant, so we had engineer interns, which are unlicensed.
We did call them assistant engineers, but the responsibilities are very different.
Well, we had, what are you saying, the interns are different than an assistant engineer?
Yes, they're not licensed.
They have to work for 4 years before they can get their license, well, they kind of did.
So, previously, the assistant engineer, we changed that to engineer intern, but the difference was they needed to work 4 years before they were licensed. So this position will require a licensed engineer, so they would have 4 years under another licensed engineer, then they're gonna have 5 additional years under, a lead worker for bridge inspection, so they're almost at 9 years experience. Those could overlap, they could get them all in 5 if universal line for them, but they do have 2 different internships really. They have one to become an engineer and another one to become that team lead for bridge inspection. I don't have the certification for bridge inspection. I can't get it unless I work underneath an engineer and get for 5 years as well, so.
So we have to go out for contract.
So we're contracting it now, yes, so. So I would cross-train as well and get the certification, just to have it, I guess, but it's really hard to get in your office. A lot of people are grandfathered in and they can pass it on, but just to get it from scratch is kind of hard to do. Kind of like surveying, it's just hard to get. It's almost backwards from the career path we're on.
Okay.
And so you're recommending step 219, or grade 219, step 1?
It'll be on that 219 scale. I guess we'll have to see what the applicants are, where they get placed on that scale.
I think it'll be a positive for our roads department. I really do.
I think our technical side, I'm kind of taken care a lot when I'm doing the administrative stuff. So I don't know that this person will get into grants. It'll probably just allow me more time to be in grants and less confusion for everybody else when I'm doing that paperwork. We'll definitely cross-train them as well in that world as much as possible.
Questions?
Tim, did you make a motion?
I just did.
Okay, I'll second it.
Okay. Got a motion and a second to approve. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right.
Those against, same. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. This could be good for us. Dixie Wilson, Assistant Finance and Tax Officer. Discussion under decision to approve, disallow the following applications made to the Assessor's Office. Homestead, approximately 299 recommended allowed, 25 recommended disallowed. Military, 23 recommended allowed, 5 recommended disallowed. Disabled, Veterans Homestead, 6 recommended allowed, 0 recommended disallowed. Family Farm, 13 recommended allowed, 2 recommended disallowed.
Any questions on any of them?
Of course.
Okay.
The ones that you, that we disallowed for mailing address change, did they move to another home?
Correct.
So were they notified how to?
I after you guys, if you guys approve those, I will notify them by a letter.
That they need to come back in and sign up for the different address?
The letter lets them know why they were disallowed, and then they would have to go back to the assessor's office to reapply.
Is that included in the letter?
The letter, let me refresh my memory on the letter here. It says, well, the letter tells them any person whose claim is disallowed may appeal the decision of the board to the district court, and how many days they have to do that. And it gives them the reason for their disallowance. I mean, it doesn't specifically tell them that they can reapply at their new address.
Can we add that?
I will have to check with the assessor's office just to be certain, because I write up these letters from their decision on the credit apps. So I don't want to tell you yes in case they tell me no. I can come back and let you guys know once I discuss that with them.
Okay, I would appreciate that.
Okay.
And then, one more if I can.
Sure.
When the family farm exemption was disallowed
Yes.
because someone else is farming the ground?
Correct. It said a friend, when the assessor's office gave them to me, it said the friend was farming it, not family.
How do they know that?
That I will have to get back to you too, because I don't see I don't know how the assessor makes that determination.
Well, if they're cash renting it, they're still actually in the farming operation. I just want to, any of these that we disallow, it's a big deal.
I can tell you that I do get lots of calls if anybody has any questions, and I do refer them, tell them, if they were to call me, I would tell them, let's get a hold of the assessor, let's find out if, how you apply. Or if somebody was, when we notify them and they say, oh, this was just a temporary address change, my mom was sick in Arizona and I just spent a month out there, so I had my mail forwarded, then we'll get them together with the assessor's office to explain that to the assessor's office, so then they can reverse their decision. But, as to, it doesn't say it in the letter, I can talk to them about saying if they want to reapply. I think the reason why we probably don't have in the original letter, because this one letter is used for several different, all disallowances, and we just list out the reason for the disallowance, must live in residence to qualify. And as far as the family farm ones, I'm assuming when the assessor's office received the credit app on it, they probably had to do some research to find out, and I'm looking to see if there's anything listed in the credit app that maybe would say, is this person family or not? How they know it's not family. Well, on this one, relationship of designated person to the owner of property, and they listed a neighbor. They physically wrote neighbor, the applicant did. And according to the Iowa code, it has to be. I know for a fact Penny follows what Iowa code says.
I'm sure she does too.
So when she's denying these, she's doing it according to what Iowa code says. But I can discuss with them and find out if we can visit the letters and change maybe what it says in the letters and get back to you on that.
Anything else? Need a motion to approve or disapprove?
Well, I'll make the motion to, approve and disallow the applications that were presented to us.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Alright,
Motion carried.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dixie. Thanks for your work. Okay. Any meetings and stuff? Want to report?
Well, I had a variety of meetings this last week. I attended an information session in Walnut about Playhaven, which is addressing childcare needs in the Walnut area, and it's kind of a neat little program that they're working on. I attended the Avenue of Scholars open house on Thursday, and it's a workforce development tool that's working well with the community schools and getting students engaged in the trades program, which is good for the county. I attended the MAPPA annual meeting last Wednesday and Hancock for a check presentation on Friday.
I've done the MAPPA meeting, dinner. Conservation had a meeting Friday, and Friday evening they had an open house out at Arrowhead, and Saturday they had one out at the ski hills. I was at both of those helping. I went to Lewis Township for their fire department Sunday, and also attended the funds to Hancock on Friday, plus about 5, 6 other meetings. So, anything? Scott, you got anything?
I'm good.
Okay. Next up would be public comments. Okay, so I signed up. Okay, now begins our public comment portion of the agenda. In an effort to protect the privacy of individuals or to reduce the potential broadcasting of defamatory and/or confidential information, our live broadcast will now end. Information regarding public comments and the public